Hey guys, Deathletter Magic here, time for more crazy spoilers from War of the Spark. But first I have to address a tiny percentage of you in the comments who just clearly haven't been playing the game very long or something. I don't know what your problem is, but why not waste my time responding to you? They came out with this wonderful overpowered set that pushed the power level too far. They literally used the term pushed the power level themselves in their own press releases. And because energy was too unbeatable, the next 4 sets after it sold like crap. I mean, that is what happened. I would estimate with my knowledge of print runs and since I sell about 50 grand worth of cards per year, they probably lost between 10 and $50 million because of that little mistake of letting Mark design anything ever. And then at the very tail end of it, they finally banned energy after they pretended that Emrakul was the problem. Actually, boy, they banned Emrakul, then they banned Marvel, and then they had to ban the color fixing and energy generation itself in the deck just to disable it. When you print a set that has a mechanic that nothing can beat, nobody's going to buy anything after it. This is how it works. So they lost probably a good fraction of 1 million customers over that because they have 10 to 15 million active customers according to them. And around that period, they confirmed it went down by about 3 million. I mean, it wasn't that exact period. It was over a little bit longer period, but they lost a buttload of players, like since the peak in RTR or something like that. So if you look at MTGO, tournament results, play on arena at the highest levels, I mean, just anything to feel, okay, what's the meta right now? What's the top tier competitive meta? And you compare that to what it was when energy was popular in its absolute prime, which remember merited multiple bans, multiple. 3 of them, 3 different bans, 3 different times. That's how bad the standard meta got. It's worse now. So on top of it, okay, War of the Spark, maybe it'll shake something up. It won't because you need to ban cards from Esper Control and ban cards from Red Rush in order to fix the problem. Then they print this overpowered pushed garbage set and give the tier 1 decks even better cards to make them even better. We're headed for a disaster. So to say I'm exaggerating, it's hyperbole, blah, 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 I'm overly negative, you don't even get it. Clearly, you just don't get what is at stake here and how broken the game has been at certain points over the last 25 years. You really can't even overstate how bad this set could be. And remember, every time a new set comes out, I build about 15 to 25 different decks, and I'm always in the Mythic League. So if I see some cards and I say, on its own, that might not be too broken. It'd be a little pushed. It's interesting. Okay, definite modern card, definite commander card. Okay, can't deny that. But in the context of what's been popular in the last year, what's been formerly or currently tier 1, this card and this card and this card make it go completely ballistic insane. I will assure you that with 100% certainty. Uh-oh, you should be twice as worried as I am. I mean, over the last 3 years, Wizards of the Coast has proven that R&D doesn't know how to do their job. Playtesting, I'm not even convinced exists. I don't think they're even real people. And allegedly, it's all just a bunch of former pro players. And they don't know what anything other than the Grand Prix and Pro Tours are. They've never even heard of FNM. They don't even know what the word fun means, clearly. Customer satisfaction, what is that? Why should I care? This looks like this will win the Pro Tour. Approved. Esper Control currently has 28 control cards in it and 1 win con, 1 copy of Kaya. That's it. Does that sound like fun? Do you want to play against that? You want to get everything you ever cast countered or removed within 1 turn? Is that fun? Is that enjoyable? Is that going to make the customers come back? No. And I talk to a lot of people on social media and on Discord and all over the place, comment sections, asking about Arena. What have they been playing? And everybody tells me I've quit. Fuck Arena. I'm done with it. And when I ask why, it's because of Esper Control. So when they print 5 more cards for Esper Control and then revive Izzet Drakes without banning anything, uh-oh, we've got a problem here. So I'm not overly negative, and I'm not calling everything broken. I'd say there's 20 plus problematic cards in the set so far out of, 217, that's 10%. But that's because, and get this is the crazy thing, they are broken. They are going to be a problem. They're going to be a problem in decks that provably were established as tier 1 formerly or currently. That is a fact. If you can't see that, then you just are too new to the game, you haven't seen what's happened over the last couple of years, or you're not good enough at deck building. I don't know. I don't know what your problem is, but take my word for it. I have a very long track record of being very accurate, and people who just already don't like me. They don't like my personality, my content, or the way that I put it out there, or calling out certain bad people in the community. They don't like my politics, whatever it is. They translate that into, oh, well, here's the 10% of the time that he was wrong. So shove that all in his face. Cool. Well, I've still got a better, more accurate track record than anybody else on YouTube when it comes to predicting powerful cards, problematic archetypes, predicting bans before they happen. You name it, I'm pretty damn good at predicting it. So everybody in the comment section saying, oh, you clearly hate the game. I give a shit about the game, which is why I don't want them breaking it. Obviously, I kind of care if I still have a customer base for my channel. I want to have fun and play Magic and have it be enjoyable because I like Magic. Duh. Have you seen that I own a YouTube channel about Magic? Did you miss that? I care about the game. They've been breaking it over the last 9 bans that they had to make. Standard has been going back and forth to an unplayable and annoying for the last 2.5 years. And you might have noticed that everything I just said was a fact, a provable fact, a statistic with evidence and exact anecdotes. Some of them are even supported by statements from the Wizards of the Coast staff. But if you are ignorant enough to keep leaving dumb comments in the comment section about how I'm overly negative, oh, I hate the game, oh, I'm needlessly exaggerating, I'm not, you're the one who just doesn't get it. And if you're that dumb and that stubborn and you still don't get it after this explanation, then get the fuck off my channel. And I'll help you get the hell off my channel because every single comment is marked for review on everyone, every single person, regardless. So every single comment left on every single video, I see it before it goes live. So if you think you're going to sneak one past me, you are not. I have about 95,000 unique viewers of my channel on average, according to the stats. And I've banned approximately 2,500 people. So about 3-4% of people are assholes in society. Shocking, I know, that it's that low. I mean, if you've ever worked customer service, I'd put it at 10 to 20% personally. Apparently the Magic community is much nicer than the average public. But yeah, 2,500 is still a lot. So if you want to be in that number, feel free to leave an offensive comment down below. I will catch it 100% of the time, and then I never have to hear from you again. Fair warning. So hopefully that clears it right up. Now on to the actual spoilers, which I'm sure a lot of you skipped too. So first up, we got Essence Hydra. It's another broken as fuck Simic Hydra. It's a 4/4 for 5 with trample because, of course, they might as well just given it flying at this point. So it enters the battlefield with a 1/1 counter on it for each loyalty counter on planeswalkers you control total, and then whenever one or more loyalty counters are put on a planeswalker or on planeswalkers you control, put that many 1/1 counters on Essence Hydra. If you have enough planeswalkers out in the field to make this matter and make this be really, really good, you're gonna win anyway. Now, if you just have like one planeswalker out, like one Vivian, and then this comes out as like a 10/10 trampler, that's pretty good. Like that would be the ideal usage of this. If you've got 6 planeswalkers in play, you don't need this. You'll win like 1 turn earlier, oh boy. And it's a nice insurance policy in case somebody nukes all your planeswalkers, this will still be here, depending upon what type of board wipe they used. So that's nice, it's just you don't need a 30/30 if you've got that many planeswalkers in play already. Okay, 30 might be high. But yeah, you could run a 1 or 2 planeswalker deck, and they're just the glorified enchantments, basically, which is what I call the uncommon planeswalkers. They're just enchantments that your opponent can attack. It's pretty much what they do, but they still have loyalty. And at that level, on average, this is basically just another Ghalta. And this isn't legendary, and Simic is a cloning color, and there's currently, let me think. The Repudiate, there's Quasi-Duplicate, there's Mirror Entity. I feel like there's a 4th and a 5th one. Oh, Spark Duplicate. And I feel there has to be a 5th one. There has to. So that's a little bit of a problem. And then people who run Simic decks have unlimited mana because of that untap at your end step bullshit. I mean, yeah, it limits you to instant speed stuff, but like whatever. Not if you're running Teferi. So that is specifically over-explained why this card is going to be massively screwed up with actual examples of actual decks that are actually popular and being played right now. Is that enough explanation for you people? I swear, some people need like an entire documentary on why a card is broken before they believe me. Seriously. You know what we really need right now just to balance out like this Ghalta and giant stuff encounter dump crap and the Hydroid Crisis and all this? Red-black mix, maybe 4-cost sorcery speed, destroy target creature, it deals its power to its owner. Problem solved. Great equalizer. There we go. Maybe we'll still see it. So next up, we got one of the crazier spells, and that's saying something, Casualties of War. Now, this is a 6-cost sorcery, so like, you can't just drop it into every deck and expect to cast it every game, which is nice because it's batshit crazy. So choose one or more. Destroy target artifact, creature, enchantment, land, and planeswalker. Now, I feel like to make this absolutely airtight, they should have put at the bottom, you cannot choose one mode more than once. I guess that's kind of implied, otherwise you could literally wipe out every single permanent on the board, so I'm going to take a wild guess it doesn't work that way. But why? It says choose one or more. The precision of language on this entire set is really lacking. Like, really, really lacking. Lot of confusing cards and complicated mechanics for new people especially. So anyway, yeah, you pay 6 and it's double color. You might as well blow up one of everything. I think that's funny. I think this is actually a perfectly appropriate spell. But see, here's the thing. Perfectly legitimate, high-powered, rare spell, okay? You can clone this. You can clone it multiple times. You can, like, storm counter clone it. You can frickin' Ral clone it. Expansion clone it. You can cast it directly from your graveyard. You can bring it back from your graveyard. That's where we got a problem. That's why War of the Spark is really, really, really fucked up. It takes spells that are like, okay, that's powerful, and it's like, oh, but wait, you can cast this 8 times. Okay. I mean, I don't know if you've been in the Diamond League and the Mythic League on Arena lately, but there's some really fucked up loop decks involving like the Black Memorial and that Flip Resurrector thing. Basically a Golgari deck with Undergrowth, and then they keep reviving a Chupacabra over and over and over and over and over once per turn. Oh, and Meteor Golems in there plus Self-Mill. That's fun. Have you seen the Infinite Land Destruction deck? That's a fun one where they just loop Memorial to War over and over and over until all your lands are gone. And then on top of it, Haphazard Bombardment. That's a treat. When these decks get out of control, they get out of control. That's the end of it. I mean, Search for Azcanta feeding into Teferi decks, way too powerful. So when you can take an effect or a spell and loop it over and over and over and over and over, bad shit happens. And that's why I'm calling this card problematic, even though the card itself isn't problematic. It's just in the meta with what's coming together in my head with what decks can be built, it's really bad. Like, words can barely properly, accurately portray how bad Standard is going to be when this set drops. Either believe me or don't, and I don't give a shit. I can tell you what, though, since I read every single comment, I'd say people who say, oh no, it's not as bad as you think, versus people who are like, this is fucked. 4-1, 5-1 in my favor, give or take. So next up, we got a very interesting card, Finale of Eternity. Looks like Liliana's doing something to fuck up Bolus's face. I don't really know what's going on there, but it looks interesting. The artwork looks like she might just barely, a little edge of it, it's hard to tell, be wearing the Chain Veil. Told you, she's gonna Chain Veil her way out of that contract. Oh, but this, she can't get out of her contract. It's binding law magic. Here is, in the actual lore and canon lore, I guess, the contract. Does that look airtight to you? Run that by your lawyer and see if one sentence is good enough to have 0, what would you call that, outs? I don't think it's airtight. So anyway, this is a mythic X-based black card. Oh, we gotta do some Torment of Hailfire level crazy with this shit. I haven't even read this yet. So, okay, black X, destroy up to 3 target creatures with toughness X or less. So, each or cumulatively? I swear, they couldn't make these more vague if they tried. Anyway, if X is 10 or more, return all creature cards from your graveyard to the battlefield. So it's actually an overpriced Rise of the Dark Realms, because that only costs 9. But then again, you get to destroy up to 3 creatures. And by the way, up to can equal 0. So, I mean, you could be playing against, I don't know, a no creature deck and then just, yeah, I'm bringing everything back. What's up? This is a nice little equalizer, but I think being, black heavy, you either got to put it in some weird, like, Simic Super Generation, whatever, tap your mana 50 times crap, or it's going to have to be a Cabal Stronghold deck. And those aren't doing that well right now. They have very significant weak points, to put it politely. And plus, you can only run 4 Cabal Strongholds, so they're hard to fetch. I do like that you could just nuke 3 1/1 tokens for 3 mana, though. Like, that's pretty good. And I assume, like, 3 2/2s would be 4, assuming it works the way I think. And by the way, I just checked. Rise of the Dark Realms was all creature cards from all graveyards into play. So this is a little weaker, but, yeah, I mean, bare minimum sideboard kill spell. I've been saying it for a year now. We need multi-target kill. Like, Strive or, like, anything. I don't care what they do to do it. Overload, I think I even literally said we need a black spell that can take out like 1, 2, or 3 cards, like maybe Bile Blight where they have to share a name, or like, Deck and Stone or something like that. Because everything's point removal and we got White Flood and Red Flood, so... And then we had Sapperling Flood back in the day. I mean, we really needed things that weren't just absolute sweepers or absolute single point. We needed something in the middle, and this is it. So I love this. Next up, Finale of Revelation. That appears to be Ugin, and that appears to be a giant egg. Alrighty. So it's same format, Mythic, Sorcery, Blue, Double Blue, X. Draw X cards. If X is 10 or more, instead shuffle your graveyard into your library. Draw X cards, untap up to 5 lands, and you have no maximum hand size for the rest of the game. Oh, I love effects that don't go away with the card but don't have a physical representation in the form of a permanent or emblem. Those are so easy for your opponent and yourself to keep track of accurately. This set is just so atypical and lazy. Anyway, then you exile Finale of Revelation because I think we all know somebody would loop this. It's really damn easy to go get this out of your graveyard in today's meta. It's not impossible to clone this either, but once again, good luck getting 12 mana in any color. So I think since this is like the long shot to end all long shots unless your entire deck is built around mana ramp or single-use mana generation, you can do like treasures, I don't know. You gotta look at these cards and say, okay, what does it do without that effect? So draw X cards, just a scalable draw. That's pretty good. I think normally people would just want Chemist's Insight because you can just cast it twice. It's modular, it's instant speed. But with this one, if you had 8 mana available, you really want to cast Chemist's twice and get 4 cards, or you want 6 cards, you know what I mean? Oh, and by the way, I'd say spoiler alert, but I think I've spoiled this about 12 times in the last 2 months. Ugin saw the gem that connected Bolas to his meditation realm as the key to his brother's downfall. It's almost like they're gonna, trap him on the meditation realm. So I didn't put 2 and 2 together because I don't think I've ever heard this before, but I do know that Bolas didn't originally have that little thing floating between his horns. I forgot the name of the artifact, but it's something that he found or created, and if I remember, it helps guide him towards things that he wants. Kind of like that compass from Pirates of the Caribbean, I guess. And that is also a side function of the meditation realm. And somebody said, I think they even directly stated in a storyline or in the lore somewhere, or in a statement from Mark Rosewater, that it's a piece of or originated in the meditation realm. So he took a chunk of the meditation realm with him, floats it between his horns, and it helps him do his plans and stuff and guide him to the right object or spell or person or whatever. Personally, I think it is the meditation realm. It's an artificial plane, and he carries the entire thing around with him. But then how could he planeswalk to it, and would it just be laying there on the ground while he's inside it? I don't know. Well, what if they use that to suck him back into the meditation realm or whatever? So that's basically, obviously, that's what they're going to do. And I heard a leak way before War of the Spark, before we even knew the name of it, that's where they trap Bolas. So I think this card pretty well confirms that that's what they do. By the way, some jackass a couple days ago spoiled all of the finales. By the way, what's with every single leak for the last couple years being Portuguese or Spanish? Get it together, amigos. But yeah, as much as I hate leakers that take a photo with an old 9-year-old Nokia and then print it out on one of those Game Boy printers, those little black and white printers that you could attach your Game Boy back in the day. And then they take the picture and shove it up their ass, and then they take another picture of it with the second shittiest camera they have, and then post it on the internet. What the fuck is the point of leaking something if nobody can read it? Or, better yet, if they can just barely read it, but it would take them half an hour. So I haven't seen these picked up or translated by anybody, and it's Spanish, so I could, but they're really blurry, and I'd have to run all kinds of filters and shit in Photoshop. I'm just not willing to do that. But I will say that the tasteful and sarcastic placement of the emojis, I can get behind that. But still, whoever leaked this, you're an asshole. Stop doing shit like this. Seriously. If I'm not mistaken, we already have seen the full actual release version of 3 of these, and there's 2 more to go. White and green, I believe. So next up, we've got Oath of Kaya, which means that she apparently joins the Gatewatch. And according to the bottom of the card, this is in Act 3. I believe there's 6 acts. I'm going to say Bolas probably isn't dead yet at this point, so maybe don't waste your time with all this swearing in, recite the thing, and go kill Bolas. People are getting killed by blue zombies in the streets right now. If you wait till later when Bolas is dead and the whole situation's dealt with, then you can swear her in and have time to get a cake. You already know Gideon has to be the one behind this. He has to. He's the only one dumb enough to be like, well, let's all stop for a second. He's the one who went to go participate in the Hunger Games on Amonkhet instead of anything to do with preparing to fight Bolas for, quote, personal reasons and, quote, because he has to. And, quote, because he really likes giant white cats. I don't know what his freaking mental deficiency is, but I really hope he dies in the storyline. So anyway, high five the purple hand Kaya here. 3 cost. Legendary, obviously, and when it enters the battlefield, it deals 3 damage to any target, and you gain 3 life. That's kind of nice. Whenever an opponent attacks a planeswalker you control with 1 or more creatures, Oath of Kaya deals 2 damage to that player, and you gain 2 life. Hey guys, it's Light Minefield, except slightly worse. Awesome. Oh, I wish this was white-blue. I would put this in my Don't Attack Me commander deck so quick, which runs Light Minefield, by the way. And Settle and Aetherize and Aether Spouts and Dazzling Reflection, Riot Control, like you name it, it's in there. Like if you attack me, I am gonna wreck your whole life. It is the most fun commander deck I have ever seen. So I mean, yeah, this is subtle but annoying. It's kind of odd that it has absolutely nothing to do with like having planeswalkers, but I mean, with the way this set's going, that's actually kind of appropriate and refreshing. So with this in play, theoretically, they could only attack you with a small number of very large creatures, which white and black are really good at getting rid of. So this really could just shut down a game. And it's not just damaging them, it's counterproductive. You gain 2 life. So right off the bat, the creature has to be bigger than 2 or why even bother? Okay, I checked and thank God Spark Double cannot clone enchantments because it bypasses legendary. Having 2 of these out would be completely fucked. Gee guys, it's almost like the legendary rule exists for a reason as some kind of safety measure so that they can print hyper overpowered shit, but rest assured everybody, at least they can't get 2 out or clone it. I'd be willing at this point to put money on Spark Double being the first card they ban from one format. Some sort of format somewhere. So next up, we got Soul Diviner, which is a Dimir card, 2/3 for 2, which is pretty damn good, but then the effect is even better. You can tap it and like repeatedly and at any time, although it doesn't have haste, remove a counter from an artifact, creature, land, or planeswalker you control, draw a card. So, people are saying, you know that explosive whatever land, you can take a counter off it and blow up tokens. Okay, cool, that's a really obscure combo. Good luck getting both of them in play at the same time. I'm more worried about like more obscure stuff involving like charge counters and stuff. Like you would want the charge counters to go up in most cases. This is really more of a problem outside of standard, obviously. Oh, and by the way, I think I misread this. And draw a card. I think I left that off the first time. That's free card draw every single turn. The problem is you have to find a target counter somewhere. But, you know, like I said, outside of standard, there's like anything with, what would it be, persist? You can remove a negative counter from it, I assume. I mean, but then again, the way it's phrased, because I've never come across this before in the game, when they say counter, do they mean counter, like by name counters, as in shorthand for +1/+1 counters, or could this be a charge counter? Because it doesn't use the traditional phrase, a counter of any type. But then again, like what would be on a planeswalker other than a loyalty counter, except Gideon, you actually could turn him into a creature, or Sarkhan and then put a counter on him. It's doable. So once again, I'm 90% sure that it's any type of counter, but the way it's written, that would appear to not be the case. So once again, precision of language and keeping with traditional templates of how they write spells, they really fucked up this set. So anyway, that confusion out of the way. So can you target a land that doesn't have a counter on it just to get the draw card effect? No, because there's a colon there. Removing a counter is part of the cost, so you have to do it. Otherwise, without the colon, yes, I believe that is how that would work, but thankfully they made it part of the cost. So anyway, yeah, if this is a guard for a planeswalker, it's early game, it's quick enough, it comes out faster than any planeswalker because there's no 2-cost planeswalker, sort of. And then from then on, you're just like, okay, I need better guards. I'm out of counter spells. I'm out of killed spells. I'm out of board wipes. Oh my God, I need to reload this. Take a counter, a loyalty counter off of a planeswalker. Yeah, you're setting yourself back a little bit, but you need to protect those planeswalkers and draw a card. Hopefully the card is something useful, some kind of control spell. So yet again, another control spam, toxic, board wipe, looping, bullshit Super Friends deck enabler. And it's on color with Esper already. Great. I hate everything about this. Oh, and by the way, as the Eternal's cold fingers tightened around his throat, Domri realized what kind of master he rushed to serve. See, told you, you dumbass. What's the like version of get woke, go broke for like joining Bolus's forces? Get Bolus, go broke? Oh, join the dark side, get Sparkicide. I need to apologize for that one. Anyway, the last card in today's shitstorm is Storm the Citadel with that artwork with the 4 village people on it. I hope they do YMCA. So it's a sorcery and it costs 5 and it's not going to go well because Bolus literally wiped out every single adult in a city by like Thanos snapping. So yeah, Storm the Citadel, probably not going to work. I'm just throwing it out there anyway. Until end of turn, creatures you control get +2/+2 and gain, hey wait, that's Jace, maybe he'll counterspell it. Anyway, they gain, whenever this creature deals combat damage to a player or planeswalker, destroy target artifact or enchantment defending player controls. That's kind of a neat effect. I mean, it's +2/+2. It's sorcery speed. They're going to see it coming a mile away. They're just going to, I don't know, I'd say board wipe and say, oh, that's only sorcery speed. Well, not if you have Teferi in play. I think there's another flash effect too. I think it's like Teferi's other spell. I don't know. I forgot how broken it is. I think I have like PTSD over these fucking cards. I'm blocking it out. I'm blocking it all out, you guys. War of the Spark was just all in my head. It never really existed. Come join me in my delusion. So they didn't add trample and it's only +2/+2 for 5 and it's not instant speed. I feel like even with that post effect, they could have put trample on there so it's just like, okay, I'm going up against whatever crazy planeswalker bullshit deck you're running or whatever. I'm sending everybody, which is inherently very dangerous. But then also they're slightly larger and have trample, so I'm going to get rid of every artifact and enchantment you control, which, like, so what? I mean, who runs, like, a ton of those? Maybe you blow up a couple Ixalan's bindings and, like, a search for Azcanta, you get some of your shit back and life goes on. I legitimately think they should have upped the power on this spell a little bit. Because of how specific it is and how you'd really have to get some value for your 5 mana out of that second effect, I think this is just completely sideboard. It's situational. It's not good enough to be mainboarded. Not with all the planeswalkers that boost creatures in better, more recurring, more reliable ways. This is a one and done one shot. So that's it for today. Don't forget to tune in probably tomorrow for probably some more broken shit. You know what? I hope Bolus and Mark Rosewater get trapped in the meditation realm. I'm actually assuming he had anything to do with designing this set. I don't know. Whoever designed it, you need at least 10 minutes in the naughty corner to think about what you've done. And also Wizards should fire you. Like, how high do you think they were when they came up with, let's do 36 planeswalkers, you guys. It'll be crazy. It'll be totally mad. Everybody will love it because, like, planeswalkers are awesome. And then the whole time the bosses are pushing it like, yeah, let's do it. It'll be nuts. It'll be totally nuts. And all the underlings are like, this motherfucker's crazy. That's how I imagine this went down. And according to, like, 100 people who used to work there on Glassdoor.com, that's exactly how the company is run. So, you know, it's not that far off. You can't tell the upper management no because, oh, I've been working here for 10 years, blah, blah, blah. And then there's zero accountability when they fuck something up. Like, you know, the entire last 2.5 years of Standard. And then the same people keep making the same mistakes and nobody cares. And then what do they do when shit doesn't sell, when they have an entire year of ruined sales because of Aether Revolt? Oh, they mark up a master's set and add another one per year to make up for it. And they basically just make you pay for the difference. That's nice. Mythic editions, arena, the rewards cutting on M2GO, all, in my opinion, direct results of lost sales. They got to make up for it somehow. So every time they fuck up and stuff doesn't sell and they lose customers and the numbers go down, they do something greedy and abusive to the rest of the remaining customers to make up for it. So they take it directly out of your wallet. Just in case you haven't put 2 and 2 together there. Just thought I'd end the video on that happy little thought. And for the one person who left the comment on the last video, this is why Wizards doesn't sponsor you and give you spoilers. Yeah, it is. Thanks for watching. I'll see you guys next video.